Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to get after the Frontier FL1272 side offset flail. Let's get after it. Let's go through some of the features that you're going to find on this robust flail. So this is new for the Frontier lineup this year. Frontier in the past hasn't offered flail mowers. We've had a couple of Deere mowers, Deere flail mowers, but nothing like this in our arsenal. I personally own a hydraulic offset flail. I call it a ditchbank flail mower. You can call it whatever you'd like. But I don't think I've ever seen anything built as robustly as this Frontier is. So I think that's probably the key feature. If you're wanting something that weighs about 1,484 pounds behind your tractor, this is probably the flail for you. I will tell you, my 4052R right here with the cab configuration, tires are ballasted, I've got a little bit of wheel extension on there, is probably right at its limit. You don't want to go really any smaller than that size. Horsepower-wise, you're probably right at that precipice. I think the minimum horsepower rating on this is 40 horsepower. Maximum is 105, so we're well underneath that with that 4052R. But weight is the big consideration here. You need, when you offset this flail way off to the side, you're gonna see that it definitely needs to be ballasted properly. I would never take my front loader off when I had this fitted to the back. So safety is pretty much paramount on here. Again, most of the time you can have this running onto the ground, so you can have that weight fixed to the earth, and so you won't have too big of an issue, but you do need to be careful and you need to be watching what you're doing when you have that much weight back behind your tractor. Some of you may be asking yourself, well, what would I use this for? So I mentioned earlier, ditchbank flail mower. So ditch banks is pretty much the main use for something like this. So if I had property that had a raised road on both sides, which I do, I want to get down and mow the sides of the property very easily. So those ditch lines is kind of what I'm going for. And so I could do that in two different ways. I can orient this flail down while I'm driving onto the road, or I can orient it up. So if I had something like, you know, an embankment that I needed to mow along, I could do that as well. This will actually go up all the way to 90 degrees up. And so I could pretty much technically, and I don't know if it's the safest thing, I could mow my hedge line if I needed to. So I could cut that nice and smooth right off to the side. This flail is outfitted with hammer style blades underneath. Hammer style blades are kind of a nice general all-purpose blade, offers a great cut quality, but also if I'm gonna hit bigger sticks and stuff like that, it doesn't do as much damage. So they're a little bit more robust than, say, you know, a Y style blade. Either way, right out of the gate, you've got those hammer blades. If you wanted to switch over to a Y-style blade, just visit our parts department. We do have kits that you could outfit this whole flail with those Y-style blades if I was just doing grass. So let's talk about some uniqueness to a hydraulic offset flail. So as you can see, this is actually in its most tightened into the tractor configuration. So what you can see right now is that I've got one tire sticking off to the side, and it's covering the right-hand side of the tractor just fine. So you're gonna always have that pattern. So just know that you can get close to fence lines with it over here, but again, you're not gonna get full coverage over the width of this tractor, especially with my wheel extensions on there. So I have those extended out a little bit. So that's something to be aware of. Of course, it's very nice that I can actually move this all the way out and articulate it out to the side. So I could be mowing pretty much right next to my tractor on the side, not covering the footprint at all. So it gets me really close to fence lines. It gets me down into some kind of interesting undulations. The other nice thing that this has is, and it's barely visible here, but it's got some reducers here. What those reducers are doing is allowing my hydraulic, so if I go in and I'm controlling with my fourth and fifth function on my tractor, that hydraulic flow is moving very fast through these lines. Well, those reducers were actually made to work exactly with this flail, and so it slows the movement, and you're gonna see that here in just a little bit. It slows the movement of these cylinders, so I actually have a lot more control with this. My other flail, so I have another one of these ditchbank flail mowers, kind of an off-brand. I won't mention it too much, but at the end of the day, I had to put those reducers on that one. This one comes with it straight out of the gate. Really, really nice. Let's talk about the nomenclature on the back of this. So Frontier FL1272S. The 72 is going to designate the cut width. So I have a cut width of 72 inches. So those are all the hammers underneath there. So pretty much from here on the inside to here. So that's my actual cut width. My actual width, though, of this whole entire operation is about 94.5 inches. So it is relatively wide. Again, it is super heavy. I talked about that already, 1,484 pounds. So super heavy, nice, thick, quality steel. You've got a nice, big, robust gearbox. This is a Machio gearbox. Machio is known in our industry for building quality pieces. They also build our tillers for us as well. So really nice pieces of equipment, have had no issues with them, got wonderful longevity out of them. So let's talk about a couple of little features that you see on this. So the devil's in the details on this machine. I've noticed, and as I go around and I'm looking at the different componentry on here, some of the nice features. And so what you're gonna see is you've got these parking stands that I can put down. So those are really nice, just built right into it. Easy for storage. Again, once this sits for a while, the hydraulics will kind of bleed off. So at the end of the day, these will become really handy when I'm actually going to rehook it up. Of course, because it's this style of configuration and I needed to get it really wide, it is not iMatch compatible. I've never seen a ditchbank flail mower that is. So you're not gonna have the ability to have an iMatch compatible. As a matter of fact, right out of the gate, this is actually category 2 style hitch on here. So I had to switch out some of these pins to make it work with my 4 Series, which is a category 1 style hitch. But that is absolutely easy to do. Most of the time, if you have any kind of other implement, I just pulled the pins right off of my Frontier tiller. Pulled those pins off, works really great with it. Additionally, again, speaking of those details, if you get in here, all these greasers have little caps on them. You know, it's very rare that I've seen, you know, all these little caps on there, but those protect those greasers from getting any debris or dirt in them. You can pop them off and it's easy just to fill them with grease. All the grease points on here are easily identifiable, so I can have this and maintain this with ease. So great, nice, small little details that go that extra distance and make this and kind of set this flail apart. Let's talk about some other features that are integrated into this. We've got some nice steel guards on the back. So obviously this is gonna stop the debris. You know, this is mulching at, you know, high speeds and it's gonna throw materials around underneath there. So you've got these flexible, gonna obviously work with the contour of the ground. We're able to move back, but then they're also gonna stop the debris and have it drop out. All right, then I move out to the back. I've got a nice big rubber flap that's gonna stop, again, that debris. Right underneath that flap, you're gonna see that big, robust, gigantic roller. That roller will move with the contours of the earth. That roller is very, very big, very robust. Probably won't stay green for very long, but there it is. It's nice and big underneath there. Additionally, another good feature that this has, so most 4th and 5th hydraulical functions have a float feature. So I can have this cylinder, because this is going to be connected to my 5th function, it will be able to float up and down with the earth. This has a float feature built into it right out of the gate. So I have the ability to have this undulate with the earth. That will move up and down as I'm going along. So again, you're kind of trying to prevent any binding that you're gonna get when you're operating one of these. And again, it's made to go up, down, many, many different angles all over the terrain and cut that grass perfectly. Another great feature of this machine is gonna be these adjustable skid shoes. Again, adjustability, you've got 3 different positions here. I can move these up and down depending on how aggressive I wanna get with my cut quality. Additionally, I have that roller underneath that is adjustable. So I can adjust that up and down again. So if I want a longer cut or a shorter cut, that is absolutely easily adjustable. Another nice feature is you can see these skid shoes are bolted on. So if I needed to replace these skid shoes because over time they've kind of worn through the steel, I have the ability to do that. I will tell you, it's probably going to be a few years before that actually even gets close to being happening, judging by the gauge and thickness of those skid shoes. Speaking of quality of machines, I just want to take a moment to just kind of recognize the PTO shaft on this one. Had to do a little bit of minor trimming to make it fit on my tractor. I will tell you, it has been a long time since I've had to use cutoff wheels in multiples to actually get through some steel. The pattern on these and the quality of this PTO shaft speaks volumes of the quality of this whole machine. I will tell you, it took a lot to get through it. I just say that to just say, reiterate, I think this is just a well-built piece of equipment. You're gonna see the value in it. It does have a steeper price tag, but there's a reason you're gonna see that steeper price tag. It is the thickness of steel. It is the quality of materials. It is the small details that set this flail apart. All right, enough of me talking about it. Let's go out there and put this Frontier flail to use. I'm gonna show you it in action. We're gonna go over some of the hydraulic articulation that this thing has. I wanna show you how effective this piece of equipment can be on your property. Let's get after it. I hope you've enjoyed this overview of this Frontier FL1272S. I know I have. I've been waiting for this piece of equipment to come out into John Deere's lineup for quite a while. Again, I own a similar unit to this that does the same functions, but I will tell you it does not do it to the same level that this Frontier does. The quality of build, the attention to detail, I think kind of are unparalleled here. I see multiple applications for large property owners, equine customers, farms, the whole 9 yards. Everybody can get some benefit from this flail to put behind their equipment. I will tell you, I'm proud to sell it. If we can help you with one of these pieces of equipment, please feel free to reach out to any of our Papé locations. We'd love to tell you a little bit more about it. If you've liked this content, please like and subscribe to our channel. We love showing you this kind of quality equipment, and we look forward to showing you some more in the near future. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next time. Hi, my name is Jason Hughes. I'm a territory manager out of Eugene, Oregon. I'm also a large property owner and own a lot of the equipment that you see featured in these videos. I hope you find this content helpful. If you have any questions, please comment below.